All right. So to start, we're going to be doing some addition and subtraction problems in the alternate bases. And so for our first problem, we're going to do 6, 7 base 8 plus 3, 6 base 8. And we're going to solve this problem using the traditional algorithm. And so for this problem, we're going to be working from left to right to find our answer. And so the first thing we're going to do is 7 plus 6 base 8. And when we add those together, we get 5 base 8, because that's what we start over once we hit 8, and then we have 5 remaining after. And then we carry our 1 over because it hit 8, so that gives us another rod. And so we add 7 plus 3 base 8, and that gives us 12. And so for our answer, we have 1, 2, 5 base 8 for our first problem using the traditional algorithm. And then for just another starting addition problem using the base blocks, we're going to do 4, 3, 4 base 5 plus 3, 2, 2 base 5. And for this problem, we're going to be using the base blocks models. And so here we have those represented over here with 4 flats, 3 rods, and 4 units. And then we're adding the 3 flats, 2 rods, and 2 units. So for this problem, we're just going to add them together. And since it's in base 5, once we get 5 units, we add another rod. And so since we have more than 5 units, we're going to have another rod. And that gives us 2 leftover units. And then we're going to move over to rods. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have the 5 flats, 5 rods, and then so because we have the 5 rods, we're going to carry over and have another flat, and so we have that circled right there to show that we have the 5 and we're carrying 1 over, and that leaves us with 1 rod, and then we add our cubes together. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We take 5 of those. And have a cube. And so we have 2 remaining flats and then 1 cube for the base block method model. And there's that. Alright, and so for our next problem, we are going to do a subtraction problem, but for this problem, we're going to be doing base blocks again. And so for this problem, we're going to have 4, 3, 1 base 5 minus 2, 4, 3 base 5. And so when we do this problem in subtraction, we don't draw out the number that we're subtracting from the first number. So we're just going to have 4, 3, 1 base 5. And so with that, we know that we need to take away 1 of the rods to add some more units so it can subtract 4, 5. And so now we have 6 units because we took away one of the rods, and then we know that we have to take away 3 units because we're subtracting from 2, 4, 3 base 5, which leaves us with 3 units. and then we have to take away one of the flats so we can have more rods, so we can subtract 3 into 4 base 5, and so we take away 4 of the rods, and that leaves us with 3 total rods, and then we still have to take away 2 of the flats because it's 4, 3, 1 minus 2, 4, 3, and it's the 4 minus the 2, and that leaves us with 1 flat. And so for our solution, we get 1, 3, 3 base 5 for our block model method. And then now we're going to move on to having some problems that are using the have the added part of using letters with numbers. And so for our first problem, we're going to do F3 base 16 minus CD base 16, and we're just going to use the traditional algorithm to find the solution to this problem. And when we put these together and work them out, we end up with our solution of 2, 6 base 16, and then we're going to move on to use another subtraction problem with some more letters with it. And for that problem, we're going to do 8, 2 base 12 minus 2e base 12. Alright, and for our next problem, we're going to be using another subtraction problem, and that is 8, 2 base 12 being subtracted by 2e base 12. And for this problem, we're going to use go from left to right again. And when we do this, we're going to go ahead and find our answer of 5, 3 base 12. And then we're going to go ahead and do another addition problem. And in this addition problem, we're going to have 3ac base 16 plus 8, 9 f16. And when we work through the traditional algorithm and add it all together, we end up with a solution of C4 B base 16. And then just for one more problem that has letters in it, we're going to do another addition problem. And for this problem, we have 3t base 12 plus 8, 6 base 12. And as we go through this, we end up with our solution of 104 base 12. And then just for some additional practice, we're going to use one of the problems that we worked on earlier. And for this problem, we're going to use the lattice addition. And so we're going to do 6, 7 base 8 plus 3, 6 base 8. One more time. There's just an example of that's the start of it. And then I'm going to draw this out. Oop. Okay. And so with the lattice method, when we use it, it helps us separate out if numbers are going to be over and we're going to have to carry things, and then if we have to do that, we'll be able to look back and see where the number was at and what it's going to be, because we have it a row for the numbers that are being carried and the numbers that are just being added together. And so for 6, 7 base 8 plus 3, 6 base 8, we have a 5 for one section, and then we're going to have one above because it goes over 8, and so we have to carry 1 over. And then so we're able to see that, and then we add 6, 3, and with that we're again going to have a number bigger than 8, and so we're going to have to just put down what we get. And so we're going to have 2, and then we're going to have another remainder, so we're going to have 1. And so we have all our numbers in the bottom section, and with that we're able to see what all goes together. And so we're able to see that after we add everything together, we do get 1, 2, 5 base 8. And the Lattice method, I like. It helps, that and the base block methods both help kind of separate things out visually and see where numbers are at, and see what either needs to be added to something or taken away from something, to end up with the solution that you're looking for. And especially with the rods and flats and cubes and units, it really helps to just draw that out and see. It just helps to see it and visualize what we're going to be adding or subtracting.